YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and super chat. Just checking the sound here. Okay, we live. So ZBCN is one of the fastest growing RWAs in the crypto community. And check out the hat. I finally got my hat. I ordered it and it finally came in. It's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about the hat in the comments. What up, Silver Days? Thanks for joining BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, Silver Days. Silver Days, shoot me a message on X. I'm going to get the hat out to you, brother. Thanks for your support. Patriot Party, let's go. But yes, ZBCN is one of the new RWAs to keep an eye on. So let's get to it. So let's turn on the spotlight and see what we can see. I know it's been a rough day in the market. The price is going down. The market is slowly dropping. But I told you guys several times, there would be a pullback before things take off, right? So you just had to be prepared and not panic, right? Just keep in mind, things will bounce back once everything stabilizes and gets back to normal. But we will have these down times in the market and up times. Currently, we're down. Mama said there'll be days like this. And I'm trying to figure out what is going on here because freaking computers freezing. What the freak, man? Come on. So let's see here. Why is this page not coming over? Why is this? Always something. Always something. But this is our sponsor, Caleb and Brown. Shout out to the Caleb and Brown. And shout out to the sponsor for our channel. Thank you for sponsoring. I can't pull the page up, but the link is in the description. If you want a brokerage, 24/7 brokerage, you can sign up for Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown does self-custody your crypto and helps you along your crypto journey. So let me know in the comments what you think. But let's get to it. What up, Zebec forehead tag to jump in the ring? Okay. Let's see. Let me just close this down. So it ain't opening. Oh no, that's not what we wanted to do. All right, let's go back, see if we can get the crypto bubbles back up. There we go. Maybe Caleb and Brown will come up this time. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. So Caleb and Brown is your crypto brokerage. They do help you with crypto and along your journey. They help you self-custody if you don't have a wallet and you don't have seed phrases or passwords. They will custody the crypto for you. And you do get a one-on-one broker. So you can use them if you're new to crypto. And links in the description, you can sign up using my link. I think I get 5% or something. People have been signing up, so I appreciate you. Going over to the bubbles, I can see the market is looking shady. Looking bad out here, but sometimes it has to rain, so you appreciate the sun. So Bears up 3.8, Helium's up 1.6, Canaan Networks up 1.6, Lithium's up 11%. I see out here. SQD's up 3.3, Pi is up 3.8, Jupiter is up 2.1, AIXBT is up 7%, XVX is up 3%. Hash, what is this? Hash flow? Yeah, hash flow's up 2.4, and Jasmine is up 0.9. So, not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes, but pay attention to the cryptos that are up on days when everything is red. And let's see here, where is ZBCN is down 3.7 on the day, up 1.7 on the hour, down 12.7 for the week, up 7.4 on the month, down 130 or up 138% on the year. We're at the 0025, but things will get better. Looking at the big boy, wow, Bitcoin is down 0.5 on the day, 0.2 on the hour, down 6% on the week, down 4.1 on the month, down 19.7 for the year. Bitcoin's currently at 84,088. Let's see here. Ethereum is down 4.1 on the day, up 0.2 on the hour, down 8.3 on the week, down 9.1 on the month, and down 16.2 on the year to 2,705, under that 3,000 mark. So everything in the crypto market's imploding. Where we at? XRP is down to $1.73. It's been a while since it's been under $2 and down this far. Down 4% on the day, up 0.6 on the hour, down 9.5 on the week, down 6.1 on the month, down 44.6 on the year. Pretty rough day in the market. Going over to Live Coin Watch. Live Coin Watch is up 1.79 on the hour, down 3.78 on the day, down 12.92 on the week, up 7.21 on the month, down 28.67 for 90 days, and for the year up 137.1 to the 0025. By the dictator chip. Current holders, let's refresh this just to be for sure. So, waiting for this to come back up. Currently, we're at 93,535. We might hit 94,000 by the end of the week. Might hit 100,000 by the end of, was that February, March? Sometime in February, March. Currently, we are down one holder. Oh, wow. In the 4 hours, 12 hours, we added 57 for the day, 61. 3 days, NA, which is weird. For the week, we're up 868. For 2 weeks, we're up 1,883, which is awesome. And for the month, we're up 3,489. So just keep that in mind. People are still buying in and continuing to hold. What up, Bay? What's going on? What up, Yazim BTM? I see you out here, bro. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know on days like this, people don't want to look at crypto. People don't want to watch videos. But we are here, bro. We ain't going nowhere. We'll always be here making videos, even on the rough days. So, total crypto market cap is 2.83 trillion. down 1.23%. The CMC 20 is $175.70, down 1.14. Fear and greed index is 28. Fear. Altcoin season. Oh wow, it's back to 26. I think it was at 30 yet. So definitely still Bitcoin dominant, right? You guys seen Silver Days with the fire. Let's go. Average crypto RSI is 38.55, getting back to oversold, which is not good. That's going to drive the price down, but it happens, right? So no worries there. CoinMarketCap saying the ZBCN is at the 0025, down 5.73%. Oh man, when it rains, it pours. But Mama said there'll be days like this, guys. So this is when you buy the dip, potato chip, and hang in there. Market cap 248.3 million. You can't wait to get back to 300 million. 24-hour trading volume is 12.07 million, up 13.85%. And in the comments, somebody explain to me, how is the market, the volume up, but the price is down? I haven't quite been able to figure that out. But I guess the volume is sales and purchases, not just buying. So that would make sense. Also, where is this? Tangent and Zebec have a card, limited edition. I'm picking that boy up, and there's currently 429 left out of 500, and they are going fast. I want to say they posted this today, so I want to refresh where we're at. See, it's saying it was 427. Now we're down to 407. These are going to sell out this weekend. Make sure you get on over to Zebec Tangent and get your Tangent Zebec card. I actually already have a Tangent card, but I want to get the limited edition Tangent ZBCN card. This is the Tangent card. This is just a regular Tangent card, but I want to get the Zebec card because it looks kind of cool, actually. They're down to 407. Click pre-order. They're pre-order for the cards, and they are $64. So we'll see $64.90. So we'll definitely go ahead and get that because they're going to be gone probably by the weekend. So don't wait. Go ahead and get that card. This is Visa onboards first Solana project with FinTech Fast Track program. And this is Zebec, a programmable cash stream protocol has partnered with Visa to join the exclusive Visa FinTech Fast Track program. According to press release shared with Crypto Slate, Zebec is the first Solana-based project accepted to the Visa program, which is supported companies such as Stripe, Chime, and Crypto.com. Continuous payments are coming to Solana, and Visa wants a part of it. This is an old article. Actually, this was from 2022, but this is how long Visa has been working with Zebec. So shout out to Visa in the Zebec partnership. So going over to X. So this is X top DPN projects by social activity. Most talked about DPN tokens right now are Link, Tau, Bitenter, ICP, Rose, and the ZBCN with 1.6 thousand posts and 298.5 thousand interactions. Link is the number one with 8.7 thousand posts and 2.3 million interactions. Tau's got 5.3 thousand posts with 646.2 thousand. ICP 2.6 thousand, Rose 2.4, ZBCN 2.6, Render 2.3. Oh wow, we edged out Render by about 300. EGLD 486, LPT 911, ZKC 881, and Filecoin 577. So shout out to Zebec. Links dominating DPN social chatter with over 50% more engaged posts than the next closest project, which is BitTensor Tile. Not financial advice, but I did pick up the BitTensor coin while it was down. I think it's in the 200 range. It might get back up to 700 or 1,000. So I'm not saying to buy it, but it might be a decent investment. But continue to hold on and watch the dip. The tokens might continue to dip. So it's definitely a buying opportunity. Moving on, shout out to Captain Zach, the ZBCN Pirates. I think that's us. This is what real world validation looks like. When CEO Simon, well, CEO of Uphold, speaks openly about why Zebec Network partner matters, it tells the whole story. Uphold employs 500 people globally, and like many modern companies, they face real problems. Global talent exists everywhere. Legacy payroll systems don't. Hiring brilliant developers across borders shouldn't be difficult, but outdated payroll rails still limit companies where companies can hire and how fast they get paid. A lot of information here. It's a pretty good image. I don't know where you guys are getting these images from, but appreciate you guys for putting the work in. Crypto isn't a trend, it is an infrastructure. Just conviction, research, and what's coming next. Crypto Queen 2026 watch list. On the watch list, we got Zebec, Link, XLM, Ondo, Pith, HBAR, XRP, Ghost, Algorand, Hyper, Solana, and Cron. Not a bad watch list. Let's see, was Tile on there? I would have put Tile on there, but whatever. So this is Dash for 12 years. Dash vision has been simple: earn, spend in crypto everyday life with a Zebec. That future is here. Private, instant loads, and send Dash anywhere MasterCard works. Let's see what Joel has to say from Dash.
Something that has really prompted my own journey into crypto over the last 10 years of using it has been the ability to earn it. When that is your money that you earn, you have a circular economy, you're wanting to spend what you earn. And so we've been very interested in working with Zebec for payroll because we're trying to create a system where the average Dash user can earn partially or entirely their salary in Dash, spend it on every single one of their expenses, and just completely extricate themselves from the system where they can live entirely on non-custodial, decentralized private crypto, and they don't really have to make any compromises there. And this has, again, been the vision, the big picture sort of vision for 12 years now for Dash. And we're finally putting those missing pieces, as I like to call them, the infinity stones in the gauntlet. We're finally putting them together. And Zebec is frankly, one of the very biggest of these pieces that's enabled a lot of things. Something that has.
So shout out to Dash for that. What up, heavy hitter? Pirate Squad, stand up. Zebec Nation, stay working all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Let's get it, heavy hitter. Shout out to the entire ZBCN family. Appreciate you, heavy hitter. Thanks for joining. Moving forward, ZBCN, man. This is not a crypto post. This is a financial system transition map. Gold is rallying, silver is on fire, fiat is weakening. The global finance is quietly preparing to upgrade. When the switch happens, these tokens don't pump, they get used. Gold up 50%, silver is bleeding out, breaking out. That's not excitement. This is capital hedging against fiat failure. Historically, when this happens, money migrates to new infrastructure. The rails matter more than the assets. Excuse me. This time, the rails are digital. The mistake retail will make is buy narratives. What institutions buy functions inside the system. Every winning token is the next cycle has a defined job. Dang, we broke it all down. So let's go here to digital financial system upgrade. When the switch happens, these tokens will power the new economy. XRP, liquidity bridge, cross-border payments, instant settlement, HBAR, enterprise trust layer, audit, supply, change, regulated data. ZBCN, I think I heard that company. Real-time payroll, streaming salaries, business payments. XDC, trade finance, tokenized invoices, global commerce. XLM, remittance, emerging markets and stablecoins. Ondo, tokenized yield. Treasuries on chain, institutional yields. Cardano governance, smart contracts. Quant interoperability connects networks in IOTA. IOTA payments, machine data. What up, Al? What's going on with your fam? Appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit your main man up with a super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on here and get this merch for you guys. I know you see it. Let me get in real quick so you can see it good here. That's the ZBCN hat. I finally got my sample. I might need to make the ZBCN network part bigger. But let me know what you guys think, right? Let me get your feedback on the hat in the comments if you got a second for your boy. Man, that's not what I wanted to do. But let's go back over to X and see what we can see. So, we're partnered with Zebec to show how crypto and TradFi now work together. From real-time payroll to crypto loans, users and businesses get the best of both in one platform. Read the full story to see how CoinRabbit plus Zebec Networks are shaping the hybrid future of finance. Got funds against Zebec. Weird. Right. Shout out to OGB. This is the new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Schwartz, I guess. I don't know. This is Anchorage Digital. Kevin Schwartz serves as advisor for Anchorage Digital, institution of digital asset platform. He is a prominent figure in finance, known for his time on the Federal Reserve Board and his current roles in academia and private advisory. Key details regarding Kevin Schwartz and Anchorage Digital. Schwartz was listed as an advisor to the Anchorage Digital along notable figures like Stanley, Max, and somebody. Roles in crypto finance. His involvement with Anchorage aligns with his broader interest in the intersection of traditional finance and digital assets. Background: Schwartz is formerly a member of the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve, a lecturer at the Stanford Graduate School of Business, and a research fellow at the Hoover institution. Recent activity as early as 2026, Walsh has been identified as a top contender for the role of the Federal Reserve in the Trump administration. LinkedIn contents recently, LinkedIn activity highlights Walsh as a key advisor to Anchorage Digital and mentors his company's role in evolving digital asset landscape. So we'll have to do some more into this guy, but it doesn't matter. They got what's that guy's name? I forgot his name already. Jerome Powell out the way. So maybe we are back live. This is Anchorage Digital. Wait a minute. Let me start this over. Is there no sound here? So I guess there was no sound, but there's some highlights there. 2026 is the year for adoption, growth, and larger corporate enterprises. Clients coming to the Zebec Network from Simon. Promises made, promises kept. This is just the start. Privacy first stablecoins are officially here. USDCX live on mainnet, built with Circle. Deployed by Aleo and already integrated into payroll, settlement, and vendor payments. And look who's in the launch cohort. Zebec alongside Chain Analysis, Lazana, Request Finance, Chorus One, Hasskey, and more. This isn't a test. This is the institutions moving on chain with privacy as infrastructure, not as feature. The future of stablecoin just leveled up. This is privacy first stablecoins are here. USDCX live on mainnet, built for payroll and settlement. And it's a Zebec Request Finance, Chain Analysis, Benzek, and Chain Analysis. I think Chain Analysis listed there twice. Crypto Queen, the fastest growing RWA communities on X, July 26, 3 month snapshot. ICP, 2.57 million engagements. Number 2, Chainlink, 1.97 million X engagements. Elysis, 1 million engagements. And Zebec, 794K. And Ondo. So this is fastest growing RWA communities. Got Chainlink, Elysis, I guess, and Zebec and Ondo. So the Zebec creeped out Ondo here. I'm proud. I feel like a proud dad. It's actually pretty cool. So moving forward, this is Alpha Lion. This article came out today. Okay. Really good read. Zebec Nation is going all in on compliance to stay ahead of the Europeans or Europe new crypto rules. The company's acquired the digital identity platform GateKnox and embedded KYC, KYB, and ALM directly into payments stack ahead of the EU's MECI regulations taking full effect in 2026. By bringing compliance in-house, Zebec aims to cut costs, protect user data, and scale across the EU and UK while positioning itself as institutional ready Web3 payment platform built on the mainstream adoption. ZBCN make or break. ZBCN network has revisited downward sloping resistance once again. Captain Zach, ZBCN pirate networks keep connecting TradeFi and DeFi. The partnership with CoinRabbit shows exactly where finance is heading, hybrid systems that actually work together. Real-time payroll by Zebec, crypto loans alongside traditional finance tools, one platform, one flow, one utility. This is Crypto Chrome. I haven't seen some Crypto Chrome in a while. Zebec's latest privacy isn't optional. The crypto's price of admission, public by default rails won't survive real life. Fix it or lose everything. Your raw tick. So let's see here.
Public. What if the one thing crypto has ignored for years is the only thing standing between mass adoption and total failure? Stop scrolling. Privacy isn't optional anymore. It's the price of entry. The latest Zebec X space panel just admitted what most of the industry has dodged. Public by default money rails don't survive real life. Not your payroll. Not your corporate treasury. Not your high-stakes trading. Not when AI agents are already watching every move you make. If privacy stays broken, institutions walk away. Regulators clamp down harder. Your wallet gets exposed. Your freedom gets sold. The entire promise of decentralized finance collapses under surveillance and control. But fix privacy. Prove it through action, not white papers. And suddenly blockchain becomes the only system enterprises trust. Trillions move on chain. Real adoption explodes. Crypto finally escapes the casino and becomes the infrastructure we were promised. The stakes couldn't be higher. Privacy isn't a nice to have. It's the price of admission. Solve it or lose everything. Do you think we can fix privacy before it's too late? Drop your raw take below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, because this fight decides whether crypto survives. What if the one thing crypto has ignored?
Everything is frequency, thoughts, energy, money, healing. The future health isn't pills, it's precise resilience and real-time systems that align the body back to balance. Just like Pay5 fixes broken finance, frequency fixes broken systems. The Zebec is built for that of the future. I should be liking these. Forget to go back and like. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on that note. Which is Marcus. Will Zebec super app be released today alongside with the Tangent wallet? I guess not. If it's going to be released, we would have had an announcement by now. But that would be a good idea. But I suspect they're waiting for Feb. But we'll have to wait and see. So this is Simon, you're a genius. But let me ask you a question. With mass adoption around the corner, do you believe this solves the pain point around Web3? Projects and tokens will need frictionless conversations as well as a way, conversions, as well as a way to bridge Web 2 and Web 3 seamlessly. So let's see Simon's answer.
I always wondered. It's like another thing that feels archaic is when I'm on Amazon, I just one tap buy. I just like, tap and it just shows up on my doorstep. But when I see ads on other platforms so many times, like even on YouTube, like if I hold up a product in a YouTube video, like go buy this pin, it's like you would think you could just tap on the pin and then just go same address as normal and you just hit yes. And and same thing on Facebook. I always, especially because you guys have our card saved and things like that. So I always wondered why it's not more frictionless just to buy stuff, because all the time I see things, I'm like, oh, I'd buy that, but I'm kind of lazy on content. I know Instagram Shop and things like that, it's a lot less frictionless, but I make videos. So particularly on videos, I'm like dying for some platform just to figure out where if I just say, hey, buy this, it should just be super frictionless without even leaving the video so it doesn't kill retention. Just tap and then just a notification in my head should pop up and just go, same address. You just hit yes. And then that's it. And then the video just keeps playing. You know what I mean? Conversions would be so much higher and people would enjoy it so much more. So that's another thing. I don't know. I don't even know if that's
I just realized, is that Zuckerberg? Is that my Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy? Alpha Lion. 12 years ago, the vision finally delivered what Dash set out to build: real world earning and spending is now live on Zebec. Private instant loads. With seamless spending, Dash everywhere, MasterCard is accepted. So this is the Tangent card. It's actually pretty cool. They got the Tangent card on here like Tony Sparks. That's actually another cool little video. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Just found ZBCN Miss 67 Chevy. Excited to see where it goes. Being completely honest, my go-to hold for almost 5 years is Straw. What the frick is SRT? What is this? SRTX? What is this? Star Finance? What is it? Yeah, I guess Star Finance. But yeah, I guess you found a real winner, Miss Chevy. I followed businessman Peter MC, who started the company. See, CoinMarketCap 34 years ago. Really? Great video about him. Billionaires who love to pay taxes. Interesting. This is assets supported. OGB supported. Anchorage Digital supports assets that meet our standard quality and safety. Asset supports varieties by legal entities, jurisdictions, and services. And of course, there's our own ZBCN. Keeping it moving. Altcoin season pump to begin. I like it. Bitcoin, gold at a major support. Money will flow from gold to Bitcoin. Prepare for the digital gold rush. If you know, add and hold 2022 article, Visa onboards first Solana project to its FinTech Fast Track program. Zebec on Visa FinTech Fast Track program along other DeFi powerhouse companies, Stripe and Chime and Crypto.com. Utilities name of the game for Zebec in 2026. Key milestones locking in: JP Morgan Kexi partnership, real B2B tech integration for crypto. Nacha Alliance moving a ZBCN close to the US HCA banking network. Stripe and Privy integration powering embedded Web3 payouts for the masses. Real-time finance isn't just a vision, it's the new standard. And I think we looked at that already, the OG. This is
to me. I had to go.
Angelica walked in my car dealership and heard, hey, it's Crypto Queen. 5 minutes later, the conversation turns to the number one question I always get asked about the Vatican. Asked about the Vatican. What? What the?
Tell you the funniest thing that happened to me. I had to go to the car dealer because I had to do an oil change, et cetera, right? So I walk into the car dealer and then the guy that's helping me goes, it's the Crypto Queen. I'm actually shocked because this is the second time he helped me, right? So then what did I do? We hung out at his office. I didn't stay there outside for the majority of the time. And then we were talking about crypto, and guess what he did? He pulled out his phone, downloaded Uphold, bought Tell, Zebec, and Canted. And then he changes the subject and he goes, you know what's hidden underneath the Vatican? And then I was like, oh, I know this, because this is the number one question everybody always asks me, even through text, my friends, everything, right? The number one question is, there is alien tech hidden underneath the Vatican. And I told him, I said, I assure you, I've been underneath the catacombs. There is no alien tech underneath the Vatican. I said, if you're going to hide alien tech, why don't you do it, put it somewhere remote, like the Stonehenge? And then he got quiet. So then later I had to pay. So he believes in aliens, on Anunnaki. So I said, do you take intergalactic currency from Planet X? And then he's like, oh my gosh, that would have a lot of value. And then I said, yeah, I said, we do special asteroid mining techniques. But thank you very much for helping me. And thank you for the huge discount. I appreciate it. To tell you the funniest thing that happened to me, I had to get.
Oh, wow. That's a great story. Keeping it moving. Pay attention. Actually picking up some Zebec while video is going. For the new people, I've been here a year in February. Still don't let off the gas. ZBCN has delivered every single time. That alone is hard to find. A team that does what they say. So much potential, 100x, all in till I die. Wait, all in till death do us part. I refuse to lose. So it looks like this guy purchased some Zebec. Looks like 70,000, 50,000, 80,000. Roughly, what is that? 200, maybe 175,000. Either way, I can't laugh. I keep my Ethereum nodes on Mars. Really? Phantom Beat? Yeah, I got a couple of miners got sitting on the moon, just waiting for the solar power to kick back in and they'll kick back on. But as of now, they're kind of chilling in the winter equinox. But when the summer equinox pops, we are live because the solar power is going to kick back on and we're going to get back to mining. There's only 500, and we looked at those wallets. I think I closed it. So there are 400 now. Refresh that 401. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they are coming fast. Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. The Ethereum nodes on Mars. That must have took a minute to get out there. But I think they're going to be sending people on the moon soon. So I'm going to have to move my mining equipment. Game on. Zebec Tangent Stadium Takeover goes live tomorrow. And what is that? Bayer Munch versus Hamburger SV in Bunsling. Don't give me a line. At 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on one of the world's biggest football stages. Celebrate our 500 limited edition Tangent wallets are officially available. And ladies and gentlemen, they're probably going to the pre-sale is probably going to sell out before the game starts. So make sure if you get them, get it tonight before it's gone. I'm getting mine as soon as this is over with. What is this? Is this a ZBCN post? I don't think so. I think this is XRP. But that was X for the minute. Now we're going over to trading Sniper.
Are crashing, the markets are selling off. None of this should be a big surprise considering what we have been talking about over the last few days and generally over the last few weeks/months, right? We talked about before how, there's certain areas for Bitcoin that I am concerned about. I also did mention it heavily in my private community consistently, practically multiple times a week. And overall, right, the structure generally over the last few days for Bitcoin and of course for Zebec, we talked about how we had a weak price action here, we sold off, weak price action here, and now we are selling off once again. So it should not really be too much of a surprise. We can see, right, when we go look right now over the last 24 hours, a lot of cryptos are selling off a decent amount. It's not like, 20, 30, 40%, but it's still a decent amount in 24 hours, right? We can see render is down almost 10%. A lot of cryptos are down, a solid couple of percent. We go. Practically 80 of the top 100 cryptos are affected. Some are basically neutral. And then 2 are green, right? There's only 2 exceptions right now. Canton being one of them, and Stable being another. And then obviously, if we go and look at the top 100 to 200, which is our sector, we can see, I believe this is a meme coin. We have a bunch of other cryptos as well over the last 24 hours selling off a good amount. Obviously, Farcoin is going to sell off this amount. Milena, SPX, obviously these coins, the meme coins are going to get always the heaviest hit. We can see though, we're averaging a little bit higher sell-offs in the top 100 to 200. We're going. We can see, did we pass Zebec Network already? I don't know if we did. No, we didn't. See, Zebec barely affected. Once again, right, we are one of the top cryptos that gets barely affected. Of course, we always will. But the foundation for Zebec is super, super strong. And that is something that you cannot deny, right? We are in the bottom 20 for, the top 100 to 200 when it comes to cryptos that are like selling off. So it's very, very good. Very, very good. So we can see, some other cryptos are only down a couple percent as well. And then some are neutral. And of course, there's always going to be a few exceptions of some cryptos being green. So it is looking good. It is looking fantastic overall for Zebec. Actually, I will do this very, very quickly. I'll just see how we are performing over the last 24 hours, including all of the other cryptos. We were somewhere around the 2 to 3% mark of getting sold off. So we can see, right? We are practically in the top 50 for best performing cryptos out of the top 200. So very, very nice. Very, very nice. We can see, like I said, some cryptos are practically break even. Some are selling off a little bit more or a little bit less. My apologies. Of course, some are green, a few exceptions. So once again, we are holding very, very well. And if we actually look at it also from a weekly standpoint, I would not be surprised if we're also doing fairly good. We'll go from this point, right, to see which cryptos have sold off the most. We're not going to go through every single crypto. We're just going to look for Zebec Network. So over the last week, we are down a little bit more as an average, but you also do have to remember that we also did pump a lot more, and we're not like in the same spot where certain cryptos are, if that makes sense. Like Zebec, right, is back down here. Okay, it is back down here. So if we look at the general range where we kind of have been pumping since this start of January and started to sell off, right, we already retraced from this whole entire range a little bit over 61%. But when we look at other cryptos, let's say Caspa, well, Caspa, sure, might be performing a little bit better on the week, but Caspa never really saw anything that crazy. And even when it did for the first week, it is still much lower than it was in the beginning of the year, while we're only down 61%, right? We're only down 61% from where we started from the beginning of the year. And Caspa is down a lot more, right? Caspa is down a lot more. Caspa is down like 140%, 130% from the beginning of the year, right? While we're only down 60%. Caspa's in the negative. So like I said, we are doing fairly good. So even if we are down an extra 1, 2, 3% on the week compared to some other cryptos, it does not matter because our averages are still so much better, right? What's another crypto like HBAR? HBAR, right? This is the beginning of the year. HBAR is below where it started from the beginning of the year. So it is in the negatives big time. What about Ondo? Same thing with Ondo, right? Ondo was over here. It is down here. Zebec, once again, started over here, and it is here. So we haven't even gone below from where we were from the beginning of the year, while a lot of other coins are. So that's the thing. We can afford to be down extra 1, 2, 3% compared to other cryptos on the week and still pretty much be in a prime position. That's why context is so important. This is why we also generally hold such a great ranking. right? We're ranked 132 out of 8,948 active cryptos. We are consistently around that 130 no matter what. Big sell-offs, sometimes when there's big sell-offs, we go up in ranking. Sometimes when there's a big pump, we go up, and yeah, it's always good for us. It's always good. It's not like we're back in the 150s, 60s, 70s. That at that point we would get concerned. So Zebec is holding very, very strong, very, very well. Once again, we can see over the last month, we are still up 10%. Over the last week, we are down 10%. In the last 24 hours, we are down 3%. Coinbase is going to be happening very, very soon. We can see we're at 93,463 holders. Looking good, looking great. In terms of the short-term price action, right? Fundamentals have not changed. Things are looking very, very simple. Look, we had a huge sell-off on the Tuesday of the 20th. We can see it's already the 29th right now. When this will come out, this will be on the 30th. So we have this low over here. We had multiple days where we failed to go higher. Then we created a lower low. We had multiple days where we failed to go higher. We created a lower high, right? This high is higher than this high, which means this high is lower than this one. And now, right now, we are creating a lower low than this low here, because obviously this one is lower than this price over here. And we can see, even when we look at it from the 4-hour standpoint, right, practically the same thing was happening. And that's what we talked about with Zebec. Like, even technically we go up to 3 cents and it wouldn't matter. And the same thing was basically happening. We were kind of just going horizontally like this. Sorry, diagonally, my apologies. Same thing was kind of in a similar scenario where we were just kind of going diagonally like this. We sold off, right? Sideways, sell off, sideways, sell off. Very, very simple. And, right now we could see a little bit of pullbacks. We could see something very, very similar where we kind of do find a foundation where we kind of do go sideways. We pull up again, sideways, and then we start going like this. But look, this type of structure we are generally seeing over Zebec the last 10 days is very, very good and very, very fundamental, right? We are at least going sideways, stalling out, sell off, sideways, stalling out, sell off, right? It is better than what most cryptos are doing. Most cryptos can't hold. And I'm going to compare it to something like Ondo. Ondo is a big dog, but Ondo doesn't really hold. Sometimes a little bit of retracement, but huge sell-off. A little bit of retracement, but huge sell-off, right? And we can see consistent sell-off, a little bit of retracement, sell-off, big sell-off, a little bit of retracement, sell. Like it just does not hold, right? This is very, very sharp, right? Very, very sharp to the downside, aggressive sell-offs consistently, while Zebec, once again, sideways, small sell-off, sideways, small sell-off. So like this is what we want to see, right? Even if Zebec did go sideways again for a couple of days and then sold off, it's going to perform better than what Ondo's doing, because Ondo is very, very aggressive, very, very sharp. So yeah, we will be monitoring everything. Prime buying opportunities are here. I don't remember, objectively speaking, for where Bitcoin was at the 28th to where we are now, Bitcoin is down a couple $1,000s, right? Bitcoin, as of right now, is down $6,273. At one point, it was down practically $7K. And to be honest, Zebec barely moved. That is good, because if Bitcoin needs to do what it has to do, go back to 80K or whatever it may be, Zebec is not going to get affected that much. So when things are going to start going green, they're going to go green heavily in our favor. So ladies and gentlemen, do not get worried. Do not get worried. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking great. For me, obviously we monitor everything by the quarter. As of right now, the quarter obviously does not look good, but we still have February, March to turn things around. Obviously, it is going to be a little bit of a hard task, because for us to really, really maintain a certain structure, we have to actually see Bitcoin about 114K by the time March ends. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys did enjoy. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
So shout out to the trading sniper for that analysis. Peter, what you doing, fam? What's good, fellas? 0022 is the bottom, and this ain't going too low. Bitcoin gonna drag down the rest, though. We'll have to see. I think you might be right, Peter. This is Zebec Network. See what he has to say.
Decision has been released. Good news, we are very much bullish on the overall cryptocurrency market, which means we are bullish on Zebec. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through where Zebec is going next and what we can expect over the next few weeks. Now, Zebec is currently at a $253 million market cap. So we have seen the market cap fall in value since our previous update, but this is nothing to be concerned about. And the main reason why is because this shockwave or this brief sell-off that we're seeing in the market is because we typically see this after a Fed interest rate decision. That's it. Nothing more than that. We're going to see a rebound. And on top of this, if you look at the way Zebec has held up after Bitcoin has fallen from 89 all the way to $83, we have to be happy with the way Zebec has performed so far, essentially maintaining and holding its value. Now, I'm going to talk about exactly where we believe price is going next. So make sure you all stay locked in. I want to make it clear I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that you see in this video is financial advice. So always make sure to do your own independent research. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Now, I know what you're all thinking, but weren't we meant to see a breakout after the Fed interest rate decision? Well, that depends. I personally was expecting a breakout simply because price was already so low. So typically when we see Bitcoin, when we see the equity market at extreme lows before a news decision, we usually predict we see a breakout. Just like the opposite, whenever we see price rally going into a Fed interest rate decision, we usually expect a sell-off. It's called buy the rumor, sell the fact, right? But this time we actually saw price remain pretty calm, then sell off. And I think this is to do with the shock of gold's and silver's over $3 trillion sell-off that we're experiencing in the market. But we believe that money's about to flow into equities and crypto. So first things first, this weekend, I'm expecting Zebec to essentially snap back to where it was a few days ago. So I'm expecting Zebec to go back up to 0.0029, right? So I'm expecting a quick snap back in price on Zebec, which is over 11%, which is a decent percentage gain. Also, just a heads up, I actually bought more Zebec yesterday as well. We gave this out to our CC Premium community link in my description, but we actually gave up the buy call on Zebec because we think we see a big breakout starting from Feb. So I like to put my money where my mouth is, guys. This isn't just updates that I'm giving you guys. We believe we're going to see an aggressive upside move. Now, Zebec right now is now about 50-60% away from our short-term target at 0.0004248, which brings price into the middle of our range. Now, when is that going to happen? To be honest with you, we have to wait for Bitcoin's price action, right? So we actually bought more Bitcoin as well, but we have to wait for Bitcoin to go back up to the 89,000, 90,000 area before we can update on that. But we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this. Hopefully it can start from the first week of February, but of course a lot does depend on Bitcoin at the moment, because remember, when money flows into crypto, it flows into Bitcoin first, and then we see that trickle down effect, right? So short-term target, middle of the range, mid-term target at the top of our range, which is now, from where we currently are now, 168% away, which will bring price to 0.0068456. So I want you all to stay focused. I want you all to stay locked in, and I will share with you guys what I shared with my CC Premium members and also the members in my free Telegram group. And guys, if you're not yet subscribed, 75% of you guys that watch my Zebec videos aren't subscribed. I don't know why, because being subscribed helps us get these Zebec videos in the algorithm. So XRP holders, Hedera holders, and general crypto holders can find out about the project. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe. Perfect. Let's continue. Now, members of our free Telegram group, I actually posted this, and it's important that you all understand this. Now, one of the co-founders of Gymshark, Lewis Morgan, turns $298,000 into $17.1 million. Now, This has actually gone viral, which is why I'm talking about this. I don't know if you guys know Gymshark. He was one of the co-founders. Now, I know some of you are thinking immediately, well, must be nice to have 298. Well, guess what? Even with $5,000, you would have made over $1 million as this went up over 5,600%. So it's over 500,000 anyway, right? With $5,000. But what not many people talk about in this story is the fact that he was down 80% at one point. So he was down 80% on his position at one point. He held the position for 5 years. He was dollar cost averaging during this period, whilst him being down, did not give up on the project. And overnight, 298 turns into 17.1. And the reason why I highlight this is because, of course, with us in the cryptocurrency space, it sometimes feels like it's never going to get good. We're always going to be, one step behind the stock market. Or are we ever going to see the 2017 bull cycle again? Are we ever going to see the 2021 bull cycle again? And I know how discouraging it must feel to not see that bullish momentum. But the fact that you're here means that you are one step ahead of many of people that have been in the cryptocurrency market, people that are thinking about being in the cryptocurrency market, because you are already here. So all you need to do is double down, take action, and hopefully within the near future, you're going to reap the rewards, right? So I'm expecting a bullish road ahead, which is why we're getting prepared for that. And I want you all to stay locked in. And of course, join my free Telegram group. The link is in my description. Just make sure you have the Telegram app downloaded. Otherwise, the link will not work. So you can get updates before everybody else. But anyway, guys, that's my update. Because I know some of you are thinking, what's going on with price action? We are still bullish. And let's face it, Zebec has performed very well despite the recent market sell-off. So let's see what happens in February. We're bullish. You should be too. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. Until next update, seize the day. Essentially, maintain.
So shout out to the VLC Network. This is a quick what is this? AI video. I know you guys hate the AI video, but we'll run it anyway. Just in crypto, don't fade ZBCN General Zebec. What? What is General Zebec?
ZBCN Today, the channel where we cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters. This
hitter all day. What's going on with you, fam? Guys, just continue to hold. I know it's crazy out here, but things will get better. Like Mama said, there'll be days like this.
This isn't about short-term hype, emotional price swings, or chasing green candles. Privacy is increasingly being positioned as a foundational feature of financial infrastructure rather than a trade-off, and this shift is becoming more visible across the digital asset ecosystem. Zebec is directly aligned with this trend. The launch of USDCX on Aleph Zero represents a meaningful step forward in confidential, compliant one-chain dollars. Zebec has stated that it is excited to support privacy-first payments as it expands payroll and card infrastructure across multiple chains. Aleph Zero itself is positioning as a privacy-first programmable Layer 1 blockchain, built around the idea of allowing users to control what they share while enabling customizable, confidential financial workflows without compromising compliance. Over the past several weeks, privacy has clearly become a central focus across the sector. This is not coincidental. Trust, particularly institutional trust, depends on systems that prioritize security, confidentiality, and reliability. Users and businesses do not want funds exposed to unnecessary risk, whether through vulnerabilities, exploits, or operational failures. In broader terms, individuals consistently prioritize safety and stability in every aspect of life, from where they live to how they store value. Financial systems are no different. Zebec's emphasis on privacy-first infrastructure reflects a strategic effort to build durable institutional credibility, and this theme has consistently surfaced in recent updates and partnerships over the last few weeks. USDCX on Aleph Zero is described as a USDC-backed stablecoin designed specifically for Aleph Zero's privacy-first blockchain infrastructure. This enables businesses and users to unlock privacy-preserving payments, programmable one-chain dollars, and confidential multi-party workflows. The stated benefits include one-to-one backing by USDC held in reserve, full interoperability with USDC across supported chains, and a trust-minimized structure that eliminates the need for third-party bridges. Zebec has also announced its partnership with Aleph Zero directly, confirming that USDCX is now live on Aleph Zero and enabling privacy-first, institutionally ready stablecoin payments. These capabilities extend across payroll, settlements, and real-world payments, unlocking confidential, compliant, real-time payment rails for businesses and employees globally. Zebec summarized the approach clearly. Confidentiality is not optional, it is infrastructure. This reinforces the platform's positioning around enterprise-grade financial systems that prioritize both compliance and privacy without compromise. In parallel, some community discussion has focused on changes in staking yields. Zebec previously offered an APY of approximately 15%, which has since declined to roughly 7%. This type of adjustment is consistent with standard staking mechanics across the crypto market. As more participants stake a given asset, the yield per participant typically declines because reward emissions must be distributed across a larger base. This process is generally automated rather than manually adjusted, and fluctuations in APY can occur daily or weekly depending on participation levels. This dynamic is not unique to Zebec and applies broadly across staking-based networks, where higher participation naturally results in lower yields per staker. Everything you hear on ZBCN today is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be considered financial advice, investment advice, or a recommendation to buy or sell any asset. Turning to market performance, Zebec currently ranks approximately 133 out of 8,949 active cryptocurrencies. Over the past month, the asset is up approximately 66%. Over the last week, it is down roughly 12%, and over the last 24 hours is down approximately 1.5%. On Solscan, Zebec currently shows 93,459 holders, which places it on track to reach approximately 93,600 to 93,700 holders by the end of the week. The asset is not yet listed on Coinbase or Binance, although Coinbase is widely viewed as approaching based on broader ecosystem developments. From a macro perspective, it is critical to contextualize crypto markets relative to traditional assets, particularly gold. Gold's total market capitalization is approximately $37 trillion. By comparison, the entire crypto market currently stands at roughly $3 trillion, or less than 1/10 the size of gold alone. This comparison excludes silver, platinum, copper, and other commodity markets, meaning gold itself represents a vastly larger capital base than all digital assets combined. When gold moves $10, $20, or $50 per ounce, the resulting change in market capitalization is substantial. Using approximate figures, if gold at around $5,300 corresponds to a $37 trillion market cap, then a $530 move represents roughly $3.7 trillion, which is larger than the entire crypto market. When gold declined by a few $100s in a single hour recently, it erased more than $2 trillion in market capitalization, roughly 2/3 of the total crypto market value in that same time frame. This comparison highlights how early stage the digital asset market still is relative to established stores of value. Crypto remains structurally young, both in terms of capitalization and institutional penetration. As Bitcoin and broader digital assets continue to mature, their market dynamics must be evaluated within this broader context of scale, liquidity, and capital depth, particularly as traditional asset classes continue to absorb and release trillions of dollars in valuation within relatively short periods. If you're getting value from this kind of focused, fundamentals-driven Zebec content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to ZBCN today, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. It directly supports the channel and helps this research-driven community grow.
So shout out to the, I think this is the Zebec. What is this?
Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. I read them all. Now let's continue.
This is the Zebec Today channel, and this is another crypto journal with Zebec. So just in, Bozilla's first Solana meme coin. Where can you get it at, Justin? And where did he create it? I might have to check into that. The first Solana. Those are meme coins on Solana. I don't know. We'll check it out in a minute. See if we can find it. ZBCN. Interesting. The general. Oh, okay, the general. But yeah, let's play this video and I'll be right back.
ZBCN to crack the top 20. It would need to appreciate somewhere between 60x and 80x from current levels. That sounds impossible, except that in 2025, ZBCN delivered 217.3% returns, making it one of the top performing RWA tokens. CoinGecko identified it as a major contributor to RWA being 2025's most profitable crypto narrative with average gains of 185.8%. And now in early 2026, Zebec is positioned with partnerships, infrastructure, and catalysts that could fundamentally transform its trajectory. Let me show you whether Zebec Network reaching top 20 is realistic, the fundamentals that would need to materialize, the potential partnerships that could drive explosive growth, and what market conditions would have to align for this to actually happen. First, let's establish exactly what top 20 means quantitatively. As of January 2026, the 20th largest cryptocurrency by market cap sits around $15 to $20 billion, depending on market conditions. ZBCN's current fully diluted valuation is approximately $300 to $330 million. To reach 15 billion market cap, ZBCN would need to appreciate approximately 45x to 50x. To reach 20 billion, it would need 60x to 67x appreciation. Is this mathematically possible? Yes. Cryptocurrencies regularly deliver 50x to 100x returns during bull markets. Solana went from $2 to $260 in 2021, a 130x move. Cardano did similar multiples. Even in 2025, several tokens delivered 10x to 20x returns. So the mathematics aren't the constraint. The question is whether Zebec's fundamentals, addressable market, and competitive positioning justify this level of appreciation. Let's start with the fundamentals because this determines whether the growth thesis is based on substance or speculation. Zebec Network is a decentralized infrastructure for real-world value flows. The core technology enables continuous streaming payments where money flows per second rather than in batch transactions. This solves real problems in payroll processing, cross-border remittances, treasury management, and programmable finance. The technology is proven and operational. Zebec has processed over $300 million through their PayBridge platform. They have 50,000 monthly active users as of late 2025, with expectations to at least double this by year-end 2026. They've launched 2 MasterCard debit card products, the Zebec Silver Card and Zebec Black Card, that enable crypto spending anywhere MasterCard is accepted. They have WageLink, a compliant payroll app bringing blockchain functionality to traditional payroll systems. But having working technology doesn't guarantee top 20 status. You need massive adoption driving enormous transaction volumes and value capture. Let's examine whether Zebec has the partnerships and positioning to achieve this. Partnership 1, JP Morgan's Kinexys platform. In late 2025, Zebec integrated with Kinexys, formerly known as Onyx, which is JP Morgan's institutional blockchain for enterprise payments and tokenized assets. This integration allows institutional clients to access continuous payment streaming for cross-border transactions using Zebec's infrastructure. JP Morgan processes trillions in institutional payments annually. If even a fraction of that volume flows through Zebec's streaming infrastructure, transaction counts explode. The key question is whether this integration drives meaningful volume or remains a technical capability that institutions don't actively use. For Zebec to reach top 20, this partnership needs to convert from integration to operational deployment at scale, meaning dozens or hundreds of JP Morgan institutional clients actually using Zebec streaming payments for payroll, treasury disbursements, or cross-border settlements. If this happens, the value capture flows to ZBCN through network fees. Every transaction requires ZBCN for gas. Increased usage drives token demand. And as buybacks funded by Zebec card revenue continue, supply decreases while demand increases, creating price appreciation pressure. Partnership 2, Uphold holding approximately $100 million in ZBCN. Uphold is a regulated exchange with millions of users. Their substantial ZBCN holdings represent institutional confidence and create aligned incentives. Uphold benefits when ZBCN appreciates. This means they're motivated to promote Zebec products to their user base through marketing, integrations, and incentive programs. The Uphold Direct Deposit Program already offers 6% crypto-backed rewards in ZBCN, XRP, and WMTX. If Uphold aggressively markets this to their 10 million users and achieves even 5% conversion, that's 500,000 new users accessing Zebec ecosystem. If those users stake ZBCN for enhanced card rewards and participate in governance, that creates sustained token demand beyond speculative trading. Partnership 3, Circle and native USDC integration. Circle is the issuer of USDC, which has over $60 billion in market cap and just completed a $1.05 billion IPO. Circle Ventures invested in Zebec. The companies have deep technical integration, enabling instant cross-border transfers using USDC on Zebec infrastructure. This matters because stablecoins are becoming the rails for digital payments. Projections suggest stablecoin market cap could reach 3 to 5 trillion by 2030. If Zebec positions itself as streaming payment infrastructure for stablecoin flows, capturing even 1% of stablecoin transaction volume would represent massive network activity. At 4 trillion stablecoin market cap, with reasonable velocity assumptions, 1% capture could mean billions in monthly transaction volume flowing through Zebec. Partnership 4, Notch's Payment Innovation Alliance. In December 2025, Zebec was admitted to Notch's Payment Innovation Alliance alongside JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Fiserv, Circle, and ADP. Notch governs the ACH network, which processed $86.2 trillion in 2024. This admission positions Zebec to drive blockchain-based innovation across existing ACH rails. If Notch decides that streaming payments are the future evolution of ACH infrastructure and Zebec becomes the reference implementation, adoption could be mandated or strongly encouraged across the entire US payment system. This would be transformational. Not every ACH transaction would use streaming, but even a small percentage of $86 trillion creates enormous volume. Partnership 5, NatPay integration announced December 4th, 2025. NatPay processes over $170 billion annually for more than 300,000 ACH clients. Through this partnership, Zebec's PayBridge integrates NatPay's direct deposit infrastructure with Zebec's programmable Web3 payment rails. This creates hybrid functionality where employers can route payouts through traditional or blockchain rails from one platform. The business model is that employers pay platform fees to NatPay and Zebec for enhanced functionality. As more companies adopt PayBridge for instant payroll, Zebec captures recurring revenue and network fees. If just 1,000 mid-sized companies with average 5,000 employees each adopt PayBridge, that's 5 million workers receiving streaming payroll. At bi-weekly payroll cadence, that's 130 million annual transactions. Even at fractional cent fees, that scales. Now let's talk about potential future partnerships that could materialize in 2026 and accelerate the path to top 20. The Ripple partnership discussions that happened in May 2025 never resulted in formal announcement, but conversations occurred. If Ripple and Zebec formalize collaboration, integrating RippleNet's cross-border settlement with Zebec's streaming distribution, the combined infrastructure serves both institutional settlement and consumer-facing payroll globally. Ripple has partnerships with over 300 banks across 45 countries. If those banks gain access to Zebec's streaming functionality through Ripple integration, distribution accelerates dramatically. And if Lust, Ripple's stablecoin, becomes a supported currency on Zebec platform alongside USDC, liquidity increases. Enterprise payroll processors like ADP and Paychex are potential acquisition or partnership targets. These companies have massive market share, but antiquated technology. They're under pressure to modernize. If ADP decides to acquire blockchain payroll capability rather than build it internally, Zebec is a logical target. An acquisition by ADP would instantly give Zebec access to millions of corporate clients and validate the streaming payment model. Alternatively, a strategic partnership where ADP integrates Zebec infrastructure into their platform as an optional feature for clients would drive massive adoption. Employers already using ADP could enable streaming payroll without changing providers. This removes the switching cost barrier that prevents adoption. Global remittance corridors represent another partnership opportunity. The US to Mexico corridor processes over $60 billion annually. If Zebec partners with Bitso, the largest crypto exchange in Latin America, to provide streaming remittance infrastructure, they tap into this massive flow. Workers in the US could stream wages to family in Mexico in real time using USDC, with recipients spending through Zebec cards or cashing out to pesos. Similar opportunities exist in the US to Philippines corridor, 30 billion annually, US to India, over 100 billion, and dozens of other high-volume remittance routes. Each corridor requires local partnerships with exchanges, payment processors, or neobanks. But the prize is capturing meaningful percentage of hundreds of billions in annual remittance volume. DePIN expansion through World Mobile Partnership creates another vector. Zebec announced plans to launch Zebec Net for decentralized mobile connectivity where payments flow in real time for data usage. If this scales to millions of mobile users paying per megabyte in real time, transaction volumes explode even though individual transaction values are tiny. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What market conditions need to exist for Zebec to achieve top 20? Because even perfect execution won't drive 50x appreciation if macro conditions are unfavorable. Condition 1, sustained crypto bull market through 2026 and 2027. Historically, altcoins deliver their largest gains during the second half of bull cycles when Bitcoin stabilizes at new highs and capital rotates to altcoins seeking higher returns. If Bitcoin consolidates around 100,000 to 150,000 through 2026 and market cap grows to 5 to 6 trillion total crypto, capital flows into quality altcoins with real utility. ZBCN's 2025 performance of 217.3% gain demonstrates it can capture this rotational capital. If 2026 and 2027 see similar conditions to 2021's altcoin season, where quality projects regularly delivered 10x to 50x returns, Zebec reaching top 20 becomes plausible. Condition 2, RWA narrative sustaining and expanding. Real-world assets were 2025's most profitable narrative with 185.8% average gains. Zebec was a major contributor. If this narrative continues strengthening in 2026, as institutions tokenize more assets and blockchain-based settlement becomes standard, projects providing infrastructure benefit disproportionately. Standard Chartered projects tokenized RWAs could reach 30 trillion by 2034. Some forecasts suggest 16 trillion by 2030. As this market expands from tens of billions to trillions, the infrastructure processing those transactions captures enormous value. Zebec providing streaming payment and settlement infrastructure positions it to benefit from RWA growth. Condition 3, regulatory clarity enabling institutional adoption. The Genius Act passed in 2025 provided stablecoin frameworks. MiCA in Europe created comprehensive digital asset regulation. If this trend continues with clear rules rather than enforcement actions, institutions accelerate adoption. Zebec has proactively pursued compliance with SOC 2 Type 2 achieved in September 2025 and ISO 27001 targeted by year-end 2026. When regulation becomes enabler rather than barrier, projects that built compliance infrastructure during uncertainty gain massive advantages. If major banks announce in 2026 that they're deploying blockchain payroll for international teams using Zebec, that validation drives institutional FOMO. Condition 4, stablecoin adoption accelerating beyond current 220 billion market cap. If stablecoins reach 1 to 2 trillion in 2026 and 2027 as projected, becoming primary rails for digital commerce, protocols enabling stablecoin utility benefit. Zebec's integration with USDC positions it perfectly. As stablecoin usage grows from crypto native to mainstream, streaming payment functionality becomes expected feature rather than novelty. Condition 5, tokenomics execution delivering deflationary pressure. Zebec implemented monthly buybacks funded by Zebec card revenue. In July and August 2025, they bought back $60,000 in ZBCN and burned it. If card adoption scales and buybacks increase to hundreds of thousands or millions monthly, while transaction volumes drive network fees, supply decreases as demand increases. The token migration from ZBC to ZBCN completed in March 2026, enabling deflationary mechanics. Final token unlock scheduled for March 2026 completes early investor allocations. After this, supply dynamics shift entirely to utility-driven, with buybacks creating net deflation. This timing could be perfect if it coincides with accelerating adoption. Now let's talk about what needs to happen operationally for Top 20 to be realistic. Zebec needs to demonstrate several milestones throughout 2026. Milestone 1, reach 500,000 monthly active users by year-end 2026 from current 50,000. This 10x user growth requires viral adoption of Zebec cards, enterprise payroll deployments through NatPay and Kinexy's partnerships, and international expansion in high-growth markets. Achievable but aggressive. Milestone 2, process $10 billion in annual transaction volume through the platform, at 300 million currently. This requires roughly 33x volume growth. Sounds enormous until you realize a single Fortune 500 company with 50,000 employees paying $60,000 average salaries represents $3 billion in annual payroll. Just a few major enterprise clients gets you to 10 billion. Milestone 3, achieve $100 million in platform revenue. This comes from a combination of transaction fees, platform licensing to enterprise clients, card interchange fees, and premium feature subscriptions. At current trajectory, this is stretch goal. But if Kinexy's integration converts to production deployments and NatPay partnership scales, revenue inflection is possible. Milestone 4, secure top 50 exchange listings, including Coinbase and Binance. Zebec is on Kraken as of October 2025 and on 34 total exchanges. But Coinbase and Binance provide massive liquidity and retail access. Listings on these exchanges historically drive significant price appreciation and make projects accessible to mainstream investors. Milestone 5. Announce minimum 3 Fortune 500 companies using Zebec infrastructure for payroll or treasury operations. These need to be public announcements with disclosed transaction volumes and use cases. This level of institutional validation transforms market perception from speculative infrastructure to proven enterprise solution. Let's model the math specifically. If ZBCN needs to reach 15 billion market cap for top 20, and current market cap is 253 million, that's 59.3x appreciation. At current circulating supply of 97.95 billion tokens, and assuming buybacks reduce this modestly, reaching 15 billion market cap implies token price around $0.15. From current $0.00258, that's exactly the 58x move required. Is $0.15 realistic for ZBCN? Let's compare to similar infrastructure tokens. Chainlink, which provides Oracle infrastructure, has market cap around 15 billion. The Graph, providing indexing infrastructure, reached several billion at peak. Render Network for decentralized GPU rendering hit multi-billion valuations. The pattern is that infrastructure protocols solving real problems and achieving enterprise adoption can absolutely reach top 20 if execution delivers. But here's the brutal reality check. Of the thousands of cryptocurrencies launched over the years, very few sustain top 20 status long-term. Projects cycle in and out based on hype cycles, technological developments, and competitive dynamics. Even if Zebec reaches top 20, maintaining that position requires continuing to deliver and staying ahead of competition. The bear case is that adoption stalls. Enterprise partnerships don't convert to meaningful volume. Competition from traditional fintech or other crypto solutions captures market share, regulatory changes create obstacles, or macro conditions turn unfavorable. If any of these materialize, ZBCN could trade sideways or down rather than appreciating 50x. The bull case is that everything aligns. Ripple partnership materializes. Major enterprises deploy. Nacha embraces streaming as evolution of ACH. Stablecoins explode to multi-trillion-dollar market cap. Zebec captures meaningful percentage as infrastructure. Bull market conditions persist. And ZBCN delivers 50x to 100x returns over 2026 and 2027, entering top 20 and potentially top 10 if conditions are exceptionally favorable. My assessment is that top 20 is possible, but unlikely within 2026 alone. The more realistic path is steady appreciation through 2026 as partnerships convert to revenue, potentially reaching top 50 by year-end with 5x to 10x appreciation. Then continued growth through 2027 and 2028 as enterprise adoption scales could drive toward top 20 status by late 2027 or 2028. This timeline aligns with how enterprise technology adoption actually works. Partnerships announced in 2025 convert to pilots in 2026. Pilots convert to production in 2027, and production scales in 2028. Each phase delivers progressively larger impacts on metrics, revenue, and token value. For investors evaluating whether Zebec could reach top 20, the question isn't whether it's theoretically possible. It clearly is. The question is whether you believe in the multi-year execution thesis, whether you can tolerate volatility during the journey, and whether you're willing to hold through partnership announcements that take months or years to translate into meaningful adoption. If you believe streaming payments become standard infrastructure, if you believe Zebec's partnerships with Kinexes, Nacha, NatPay, Circle, and Uphold create sustainable competitive advantages, and if you're patient enough to hold through 2026 and 2027 while these partnerships mature, then positioning in ZBCN at current valuations might represent asymmetric opportunity. But if you need certainty, if you can't tolerate 50% drawdowns during execution delays, if you're looking for guaranteed returns in predetermined timeframes, then Zebec is too speculative regardless of top 20 potential. Know what you're buying, calibrate expectations to realistic timelines, and position size accordingly for what is fundamentally a long-term, high-conviction, but high-risk infrastructure play with legitimate path to top 20 if execution delivers.
Man, I'm really up here talking with no thanks, boo or boom. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'm up here really talking. But yes, there's a lot of microeconomic conditions that are keeping crypto down, right? A lot of things outside of crypto. And as the crypto token unlock happens, the last one is March. Once that happens, I think the price of crypto for a ZBCN especially will start to go up, right? Once all the coins are unlocked, I think there's 2 billion more, one February 15th and one March 15th. That's when we're really going to see the price action going. Thank you, Boo, for that update. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But while most investors are stuck looking for old charts, Zebec just undergo a fundamental transformation that most people are completely ignoring. We expose the reality behind Zebec's 2026 roadmap, its recent tokenomics overhaul, and why its transition to fully deflationary model in March 2026 can be the ultimate catalyst for a top 10 market cap run. Zebec is no longer just a streaming protocol on Solana. It has evolved to a multi-chain pay-fi giant with real-world institutional backing. We dive into the facts from joining the Nacha Payment Innovation Alliance along with JP Morgan and Wells Fargo to its integrated with the 85 trillion HCH network. Is Zebec's current market cap massive under evaluation? A massive under evaluation, or is this top 20 dream just hype? Let me know in the comments. And I know that you know that I know that we know it's definitely undervalued, right? But it's not just Zebec. The entire market's pretty much under evaluated because of the way the market is now. Zebec is currently at the 0.02593 of 1.14% on the hour, down 0.56 on the day, down 11.7 on the week. And I always like coin market cap better, just looks better. at the 0.02535, down 5.73. I guess because they show the market cap better. I don't know. But the market cap is currently 248.3 mil won, down 5.73. And 24-hour trading volume is 12.07, up 13.85%. And I'm not sure why the market cap is low, but the trading volume is always high. So maybe the trading volume is looking at up and down, or buys and sales, not just the buying. But we will see. I'm bullish on the Zebec Clarity Act. Next steps from Pablo. The bill now heads towards the Senate Banking Committee, chaired by Tim Scott, which has jurisdiction over the SEC related aspects and needs to advance its own version or reconcile. Reports indicate the markup discussion there could happen soon, potentially as early as Monday, February 2nd, 2026, per some mentions of upcoming reviews in both the Senate committee's advanced versions. They need to combine into a unified Senate text, then a full Senate vote, likely sending or needing 60 votes to overcome the filibuster. So bipartisan buy-in remains crucial. Finally, reconciliation with the White House passed Clarity Act, conference committee needed, and presidential signature. This is a meaningful milestone toward regulatory clarity for digital assets, potentially boosting innovation, institutional adoption, and market confidence. Through hurdles remain, including partisan divides and industry pushback on elements like stablecoin rules. And this obviously skipped over the whole part about the yields. That's the main thing that's holding everything back. But I guess Gucci Little Piggy will get everything pushed through. So we will see. But happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. I don't want to hold you all night, but thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting the channel, and let me know in the comments if you like the hat or if we need to work. So this is the prototype, or this is the sample on the hat. I don't know if you like it. I think it's pretty cool, but let me know. Either way, if not, we'll keep working on it. I guess it's going to take some growing on me. I don't know. Is it design crooked? I don't know, but I'll have to keep playing around with it. Also, check the shirt out. You can get both of them on Etsy. My daughter designed it for the system. New subscriber, I joined yesterday. Keep it up. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for joining us on this crypto journey. And I want to say I put the Etsy link on the page. Let me see. Actually, it's right here. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'll put this on the page. For some reason, I don't know why the hat's so expensive, right? I didn't set the price. This is just what they give us. And where's the shirt at? Is this the shirt? No, this is the shirt. The shirt's definitely, yeah, better priced. But I'll put this on my page. You can check it out. Definitely support the channel. I'll put this on X, but I don't want to hold you guys all night. Spend time with the family, watch some movies, take it easy breezy, and don't worry about the market. The market will bounce back either way. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And as always, oh yeah, don't forget, pick that wallet up. It's going quick. We're down to, drum roll please, $3.95. Bro, it is running. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, Let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Peace and hair grease. Miners out.